And now, for my first ever disclaimer or warning before a video segment. What you're about to see fit this particular horse on this particular day in this particular situation. Try this on the wrong horse and you wake up with a big dental bill, a huge headache, and wondering where that week went. Don't let that happen. Be careful, be safe, invent your own solution that fits your situation. And remember, these experiments are not a success if the trainer is killed.
We're here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is inventing things. And I'm going to say things at the beginning of this video because it's my understanding that YouTube carefully watches videos for about 30 seconds to see if there's any foul language. I will probably lapse into some language that is not completely politically correct because it's a quote from an old friend and he would hunt me down like a dog if I misquoted it. Bottom line, sometimes there is sort of the popular wisdom, we all do things a certain way, there's a conventional way of doing things. But there are times when you take that and do the opposite. The great American painter Andrew Wyeth used to say when he was working on a painting and he wasn't getting the effect he wanted and something in the composition just wasn't working, he didn't just look at it different, he turned the painting upside down. He said, looking at it upside down, you saw the problem, it was completely different. Well, what we're going to do, hopefully, is turn the painting upside down and not have anything go wrong, because this mare has a huge motor. I'm going to gallop her a little bit, and you'll see that she gets up because that's her. I've got a theory of what might relax her, and it's a little bit off the grid. To get back to the original quote, because I think we've now used up more than our 30 seconds, my friend Dutch Chapman, I was doing something peculiar in the makeup pen at a random up at Willowbrook Farm, and Dutch rode by, he said, man, he said, that's what makes you dangerous. You ain't afraid to invent shit. And I never quite knew if he meant that I was inventive with my horses and that made me dangerous, or whether I was just dangerous to be in the show pen while I was doing that shit. Sometime I'll get my waterboard out and capture him and find out. I have a suspicion he was being kind to me because he always was. But sometimes when you're inventing stuff, it does get ugly. So let's see what happens here when we invent some shit. So I'm just going to take her out here and just lope her a time or two around, and then gallop her, and then see if she does get a little bit ready. Now right now, she's driving on a little, and what I'll do to relax her is I'll just bend her around. And this has become her slow down, relax cue. And when she sort of hits that slow lope, I'll give the rein back to her. That's a real useful cue because when you think about it, that means that when you steer them, instead of speeding up on you, their first instinct is to relax and slow down. If you need to push them through, that's generally easy. So we got this nice little lope established. Let's upset the apple cart and ask her to gallop. And I'm going to bring her back now. And she's broke enough that she's staying in the bridle and she's being obedient, but she's just a tad bit rattled. And if I kept holding her and I got stiff, she'd get stiff herself, more so than she already is. I'd get stiffer, she'd get stiffer, and you can see she's raised up. So what I'm gonna do, and I've done this with other horses and gotten away with it, is I'm gonna say, I'm going to give you all the rain you want. And I'm going to crawl up here and say, it's okay. And if she runs off, I'll just bend her around. And I'll just pretend like I came home from the bar and I'm having a little trouble keeping myself in place. And say to her, drunk as I am, the longer and lower you are, and the slower you move, the likelier I am to survive. And now I'm trying to go off the back end. Now I drop my reins. Now I'm going off the front end. Oh, she's speeding up. Good God. Well, don't be too paralyzed by that. Just steer her around. Let her find that soft spot again. But see, if I had been holding her all this time, she'd still be tight. But what I said is, you know, we can both relax. It's kind of like this. We're about 40 miles from Johns Hopkins University. They can do damn near anything down there. So let's just suppose I went down there and said, hey, I need to have all my bones removed. They're bothering me. And I'm sure you could find a surgeon down there that could do it. But then I wanted to go out and ride. I'd be pretty loose. About like this. And see, I'd say to her, don't run off like that. I got no damn bones. And I just get looser and looser. And I go a little comatose. And then I take a foot out of the stirrup. And basically, she feels sorry for this poor old boneless son of a bitch and starts to slow down. And then, if you were to say, let me take a hold of you like a grown-up and lope you around soft in the bridle. See the picture we have here compared to how tight she was before? So, when you're not sure what to do the opposite. Turn the painting upside down and never be afraid to invent shit.